Thank you very much. Thank you, Netroots Nation. I want to thank you, the entire Netroots Nation team, for being the conscience of conscientious Americans. Not just since 2016, let me be very clear, but dating all the way back when Donald Trump was just a punchline that made us laugh and not scream. But before I get any further, let me clarify a couple things, especially for those who are asking, who is this guy? My name is Kevin De León. And I'm the California son of an immigrant mother with a third-grade education, a woman who by herself raised 3 kids. Inspired by her example, this was a woman who worked her fingers to the bone, cleaning other people's homes in the wealthiest enclaves of America in La Jolla, California, with the beautiful homes looking over the Pacific Ocean. And this was a woman, a single mother, an immigrant woman with a third-grade education who, by example and her audacity, crossed a national border against a wave of bigotry. And because of her, I became the first Latino leader of the California State Senate in more than a century. Leading the most progressive legislative body in America. And I am the author of California's strongest in the nation climate laws. California's strongest in the nation net neutrality proposal. And California's historic legislation, which made America's largest state the first sanctuary state in America. And because of that law, Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, sued the great state of California, to which I said, bring it on, Jeff Sessions. And just recently, a federal judge just upheld in a 60-page legal memo that sanctuary state, the state of California, is in fact constitutional and the law of the land of the great state of California. Whether Donald Trump likes it or not. Because in our great nation, there are still many of us that value the power of diversity, because we don't ban it, we don't deport it, and we as sure as hell don't wall it off, not in a great nation like the United States of America. Because, my friends, I'm not just a proponent of the American dream, but I'm a product of it. And like each and every one of you in this audience today, Netroots conference here today in beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana, I, like you, have never backed down from a fight or sacrifice principle for the path of least resistance. Not in today's fight. Together, we are engaged in a battle for the soul of our nation, because we must defeat a Republican Party which has sold its soul to a Republican president without one. And we can't do so, my friends, unless we follow the example of activists here today and exciting new leaders like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Unlike Washington, we are fighting to forge a path to tuition-free college. Unlike Washington, we believe in Medicare for all, not Medicare for some. Unlike Washington, we pass the toughest greenhouse gas emission standards in America, the strongest energy efficiency laws, and the most aggressive diesel pollution reductions, and harness the power of the wind and the sun to create more than 500,000 clean energy jobs. My friends, that is 10 times more jobs in the clean energy space than there are coal mining jobs in all of America. Unlike Washington, we pass the highest minimum wage in the country, $15 an hour, and pay equity, providing equal pay for women doing equal work as their male counterparts. And unlike Washington, we created an innovative retirement security plan for private sector workers without access to defined benefit or defined contribution at their place of employment. We know that many Americans only retire when their arms or backs or shoulders or waist physically give out. And it's immoral that women who brought us into this world, who raised us, who defended us, who fed us, retire into poverty only when their bodies physically give out, not in the wealthiest nation in the world. That's why we must give retirement security to all Americans. We provided health care for undocumented children, the most vulnerable among us. In our Senate, we are proud to pass single-payer health care for all Californians. And unlike Washington, we pass our own immigrant rights and protections. And we've stopped squandering taxpayer dollars on federal deportations, which tear families away from their mothers and their fathers, and undermine confidence in local law enforcement. And unlike Washington, we pass the toughest gun safety and ammunition laws in the nation. Today's California is thriving, not in spite of these progressive policies, but because of these progressive policies. But here's one thing. Big problems don't begin and end at state lines, and neither should bold ideas and solutions. If there's one thing that I've learned as a state leader, is that we cannot afford for Washington to change on its own. More than any other time in our nation's history, every single one of us has to take our fight to Washington, to the House of Representatives, to the Senate, and right to the doorstep of Donald J. Trump. And we won't just watch from the sidelines. We will lead on the front lines into November, because Americans across the nation are looking for a new, bold generation of leadership in Washington. Warriors who will fight to advance an agenda driven by people and their values, not by power or politics. So whether you're from Maine or Minnesota, New Jersey or New Mexico, Texas or Tennessee, now is the time to come together. Now is the time to back each other up. Now is the time to stand up for each other, to take our message, whether it's to the bayou here in Louisiana or to the mountaintop, because we're not doing our best unless we are out in the streets, in our communities, getting our neighbors, our friends, our loved ones excited about voting. And if you need, my friends, a little refresher on what gets our people pumped up and excited and ready to hit the polls, I can tell you one thing. It is our message of inclusivity, that no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, no matter the language that you speak, whether you're white, African American, Latino, Asian American, Native American, racially mixed, no matter what God you pray to, no matter who you love, you do deserve a high wage paying job, to put a roof over your child's head, to put clothes on their back, to put the food on the table. You do deserve to breathe clean air and drink clean water. You do deserve affordable housing, and you do deserve Medicare for all, not Medicare for some, because this is not an exclusive preconditioned privilege of the wealthy and the elite in the United States of America. You do deserve a fair shot at tuition-free college so our kids can graduate debt-free, not carry principal and interest well into their 30s and 40s, what is happening here today with for-profit corporations. And our hard-working, law-abiding residents who pledge their allegiance to the red, white, and blue, they deserve to live in peace and tranquility without the fear of the federal government knocking their doors down, separating innocent mothers from their children and children from their fathers, not in the United States of America. And my friends, that is why I am running for the United States Senate in the great state of California. This is a new day, and we need a new direction. We can't lead our nation into the future if politicians in Washington keep resisting the resistance. Not in America. And that's why it's more vital than ever that we as progressives remain America's exceptional example, a beacon of hope and opportunity in a very uncertain world, that we're not going to allow one electoral aberration reverse generations of progress at the height of our historic diversity, our scientific advancement, our economic output, and our sense of global responsibility. Not in the United States of America, my friends. We're all dreamers. We're all Democrats. And some are pragmatists. But we are Americans. We've made history before, and with your passion, there's no doubt that this November, we're going to make history again and take back our nation. With that, thank you very much to each and every one of you. Thank you.